What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 209 of the Fight Library. You YouTube guys, y'all don't get numbers, so suck it up. Anyways, I'm your host, Blaine Henry, and today we are talking UFC Vegas 41, Marvin Vettori versus Paulo Costa. We'll be talking about the main event today. I didn't watch any of the other fights because I'm a casual. Just kidding. I just was busy and wanted to watch boxing, and it was midday, so I was watching football. I'll be honest, I was watching college football. LSU just died, so yeah. Anyway, before we get into this episode, please drop a sub, follow, review, all that. Also, if you want to support the show and get in on a few extras that I do every now and then, follow me on Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and you can afford that. You got that, big homie. Let's go. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this main event. So, I wrote about it in Before Math, shameless plug, on Rockfin. And I wrote about Before Math every week, usually every week, the fights I find that's fun. I wrote about the main event, and I said this fight is a question to see where Paulo Costa's head's at. If his head's in a good place, I surmised that he would win this fight, and if it wasn't, he would lose. Well, his head was in a good fight, and he lost. Wow, what gives, right? So, man, the shenanigans leading up to this fight had me really worried about Costa and how he is doing mentally, because that first loss to Israel was his first professional loss, and it was humiliating. The lead up was a lot of trash talk between the two, and Costa got dry humped, as you all know. So come into this one, and he's like, I'm not gonna make weight. I weighed 211 like 5 days before the fight, or not even 5, like 3 days before the fight. I'm like, oh man, here we go. Who wants it to be at 195? So apparently they agreed to 195, and so they go on, and like a day later, it's like, yeah, we're gonna fight at 205. Good lord, how much is he off by? So 205 is the actual fight, and it was weird because post-conference, Vettori's talking about it. He's like, yeah, he was gonna pull out of the fight if we took more than 20% of his purse. And if we didn't fight at the weight he wanted to, he was going to pull out of the fight. So I just wanted to fight. Yeah. Anyway, so I really liked what I saw from Costa at 205. I don't know if he's just not, his power doesn't translate over, or, I don't know. I really don't. So, he starts off, he's covering distance well. He's quick. And we all knew Costa was quick and powerful. And then he kind of stumbled, and he was against the fence, and that's where Vettori's game plan really started to work. He's pressuring him, pot-shotting, and he only has one way to go against the fence, really, and that's to Vettori. And Vettori took advantage of that and would land his strikes there, and that's how he outstruck him by almost a 2-1 clip, I believe. Costa found success early with the body kick and the jab, but he abandoned that for the remainder of the fight, pretty much. He would do the shots to the body, the kick, the hooks, and all that. They would do that occasionally, but he wasn't like, Anyway, so as soon as Vettori would get the fight to the fence, though, he would pour on the damage. I mean, like, bang, 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 bang. He was doing that, and I thought by the end of the first, Costa was already tired. I'm like, oh, he's done. Round two, Vettori comes forward immediately, trying to build off of what what success he had. And he did the right thing, trying to build off of what success he had, because that's what you're supposed to do in a fight. Costa lands a head kick, and he wobbled Vettori, but Vettori survived. He stumbled a little bit. He wasn't super wobbled, but it was enough to where it was like, oh goodness, this could be the end. Vettori, he really, he improved his boxing a lot. And that's saying something, because he had decent boxing for MMA, right? So, he goes up top and left hook to the body, because he's a southpaw, and then a right hook up top. It was beautiful. So he jabs up top, rear hook to the body, and right hand over top. It was nice. I really like that. It was pretty smooth from Vettori on that part. Costa, he got lazy in that second round and kind of showed his back after getting the point. Before getting the point taken. He showed his back, and Vettori managed to get the body lock and get him to the ground. But Costa stood back up with no damage done. Then the eye poke. I didn't hear Jason Herzog warn him, but I'll take his word for it. Eye poke caused a point in the round he was winning. He was very, very upset. So he came heavy after that. even when he's tired, though, he's hitting hard, and I really like that from Costa. We saw that in the Romero fight, where for 3 rounds he brought the heat, and this time he brought the heat for 5 rounds. He really did, and his cardio was pretty good. I'm surprised by a musclehead like that. So round 3 comes in, and Vettori's not giving Paulo Costa a chance to breathe at all. Just against the fence, and Costa just kind of stays there. He shells up, and Vettori's like, okay, cool, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to go over the top, around. We'll see that later in the night with Shakur Stevenson, but we'll talk about that in the next episode. But yeah, so, Costa, he went for a takedown in round 3, and he got it. It was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Paulo Costa used to wrestle when he fights. Yeah, so Vettori, he's scrambled up, and Costa, he's looking for a Darce and then a guillotine. He goes to get the guillotine, then Vettori ends up on top in his guard, and yeah, it was a bad look at the end of the round. Vettori started eating, every time he would eat heavy shots, I'm going into round 4, every time he would eat heavy shots, he would get 2 or 3 back. So, Costa would come with a big right hook and pop, pop, pop. Vettori right back with it. But that's part of Vettori's game plan. He gets in there, he takes a shot to get in there, and then he lands more shots. And that's where he failed against Izzy because of the fact that, he's coming in there, but Izzy's not going to just stand there and let you hit him back. Izzy knows the game, he knows the counters, and he knows what was coming. So yeah, I just really liked Vettori's game plan. He was very, very consistent throughout the fight, which was a good thing for him. He's always been consistent throughout a fight. In all of his wins, even, leading up to the title fight, he was even consistent against Israel. He just wasn't good enough to beat Israel. Costa, at round 5, he knows this is it. Loading everything up. Ooh, I'm yawning today. Loading everything up. I thought he started going to the body with knees and kicks and all that good stuff and hooks. I thought he was setting a high kick up, and I don't really think he did. I think he just threw one, and that didn't work. Because if you go to the body enough, the hands are going to get lower because it's like nature. I'm going to block what's coming at me, and what's been coming at me is body shots. So my hands are lower. I'm waiting on anything coming my way, and then boom, up top. The head kick setup is great. I love it. And Costa really could have worked that the entire fight, but he didn't. If he goes to the body 2 or 3 rounds, he started in round 1, he did well. He abandoned it in 2 and 3 pretty much, and 4. He did it occasionally, but not enough. But if he goes to the body more and more, and then in round 4 he blasts a high kick, especially if Vettori's tired, could be the end. So yeah, he's killing with the bodies, uppercut, hooks, kicks. He just couldn't get the high kick in there. And Vettori's tired. He's losing this round. So he goes in and he hugs him against the fence. It's the right decision. Stinky decision, but right. So yeah, good fight. Where do they go from here? Paulo Costa probably stays at 205. That's what Dana White said, at least. And I'd like to see him fight either Johnny Walker, because the UFC is going to want to give somebody the rub before they cut Johnny Walker, and Paulo Costa might be that guy. The other one is Ion Cutelaba, because Ion fights very mad, and that'd be an incredibly fun fight. Yeah, I like it. It's a good fight. Both of those. For Vettori, I'd like to see the Darren Till fight rebooked. That was supposed to happen, and it never did, and that hurt my feelings. Yeah. But it's back, so it will be back. I really feel like they're going to book Till versus Vettori. I forgot on Rockfin I said somebody else on Aftermath too. I forget who it was. Oh, Sean Strickland. Oh my God. Can you imagine the build up to Sean Strickland and Marvin Vettori? Strickland's gives all these super serial killer vibes. I want to kill somebody in the ring. All that kind of stuff. And then Vettori gets understandably mad because he's threatening to kill me. It just gets more and more angry. I want Vettori versus Cutelaba also for the angriest man, the angriest AMF. That would be a great belt. I'd pay good money to watch that fight. That'd probably be a pay-per-view headliner just for how mad they are. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. If you're into boxing, talking about Shakur Stevenson, His great win over Jamel Herring. That's going to be the next episode. You'll be able to catch it in the feed, wherever you watch at. So, yeah, check it out. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're at. Blaine Henry TFL on Twitter. Fight Library everywhere else. I'm there. I'm always there. And I always will be. I've got some interviews coming with Ray Cooper III, who fights PFL this weekend for the championship. Long-awaited rematch between him and Magomed Karimov. And I got Petr Yan coming, so don't miss that. It's going to be on fight-library.com. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I'm out.